store. More than 1 hour. Plenty people is coming.
In the car, in the van, yeah? I've got one of them bloody
defend political correctness, to stand up for a worthy cause. Once again, I want to thank Louis Alliot of the Front National, or now called the Rassemblement National, for sending us that. Please send your greatest love to Louis and Marine Le Pen. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the leader of the UK Independence Party. It's Gerard Batten.
Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. Now, whatever the legal technicalities of his alleged contempt of court, he was imprisoned more for who he is and what he says rather than what he is supposed to have done. It's not necessary to agree with everything he says. It's not necessary to approve of everything he does. But history will judge him as being on the right side of a struggle between good and evil. Tommy Robinson is an incredibly brave man who embarked on a heroic mission. Tommy stood up to expose the worst scandal in the history of England. The widespread, organised paedophile rape of little girls by organised gangs. The scandal was ignored and brushed under the carpet by the authorities that were supposed to deal with it. Governments in this country and across Europe are now the enemies of their own people. They promote policies that are against the interests of their own people. Let me give you 3 quick examples. Brexit, number 1. The people of this country, after a 25-year struggle by UKIP, got the referendum. Against Project Fear and everything the political, media and international establishment could throw at them, they still voted to leave. And what's happened in the 2 years since? Nothing. We have Theresa the Appeaser, who doesn't want to leave and is doing everything she possibly can to make sure that it doesn't happen. They have betrayed their own people. Number 2, mass uncontrolled immigration. There is nothing wrong with moderate immigration, but what we've seen over the last 40 years, and especially in the last few years, has been a disaster for Britain. Millions of people have been flooded into our country, and now large parts of our country are enclaves of somewhere else. Mass immigration is a disaster. Our own political class have betrayed the British people. Now the third example is Islamisation. A literalist interpretation of the Mohammedan cult is completely alien to everything our country stands for and our traditional way of life. Is submitting and surrendering to it. They have betrayed the British people. Now, Islam means submission. You either submit or you resist. Are you going to submit? Are you going to resist? I kind of thought that's what you were going to say. The political establishment can be defeated. UKIP spent 25 years working for the referendum. UKIP secured the referendum and won the referendum. But that was an historic victory for the British people. It was an historic victory for the British people. But the job is far from finished. We're nowhere nearer leaving the European Union than we were on the 24th of June 2016. Now, it's great to see you all here. I don't know how many thousands of people there are stretching all the way back to Trafalgar Square. But you can have Thank you. Now, thank you very much. But let me finish off. It's great to all see you here in your thousands. But let me tell you that the politicians can ignore marches, they can ignore demonstrations. The one thing that they cannot ignore is the loss of votes at the ballot box. If you want to have a long-term lasting effect, then you have to organise politically. And we know in UKIP because we did it and we made it work. Now I know that I'm biased, but I want you to join, support and vote UKIP. Only when you take votes away from the politicians in Westminster, and in the ballpark every time, Mr. Raheem Kassam.
You're forgetting the most important part of that chant. You're forgetting the "for London Mayor" at the end of it. Because we are going to take the fight to Sadiq Khan, and we are going to beat him. You know, you've heard from me enough today, so I'm not going to give a particularly long speech. I also hate reading from speeches. I just like to be here to support all of you guys, to support Tommy Robinson, to put my fingers up at Theresa May and the political establishment. And let me tell you something, I just literally received a text message from Washington, D.C. It's not Donald. That would be huge. The former White House chief strategist, Steve Bannon, has just texted me to say he wishes he could be with you all here today, and that he expresses his support for Tommy Robinson and wants to see Tommy Robinson free. The only other thing I really want to say, because we've covered so much with the other great speakers here today, the only other thing I want to say is look at what's going on in Italy, look at what's going on in Poland, look at what's going on in Hungary. The nations, the people of these nations are taking their countries back. Are we going to join them? Oh, Theresa May, we are going to join them. We are going to take our country back, ladies and gentlemen. The knuckle draggers are uniting. As I saw a sign over there, it's the people versus the pedos. I want to send a message to everybody watching worldwide right now. You protested in Australia, in Israel, in the United States, in France, all across the world. Thank you so much for your support. We need people in the spirit. We need bodies on the streets. And we have, for Sky News and the BBC and all these guys, let me reiterate once again, we have over 20,000 people here today. Enoch Powell. Enoch Powell said in 1968, to see and to not speak would be the great betrayal. Are you going to betray yourselves? Are you going to betray your kids? Are you going to betray your country? Are you going to betray Tommy? Ladies and gentlemen, we will not retreat, we will not back down. No state, no threat, nor death would stop us. This is the new movement for liberty in this country, and we will free Tommy Robinson. I'm sure we have some American friends in the crowd, on stage, and watching at home. You know, there was a man called Paul Revere. He rode through the night on his horse. He said, the British are coming, the British are coming. Well, let me tell you something. We're here today to say a similar thing. The British are coming back! And it is my great pleasure now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to your next speaker, the leader of the For Britain Party. It's Anne-Marie Walter!
Wow, hello everyone. Well, I don't usually do written speeches. I usually know what I want to talk about and speak, but today I decided, a couple of days ago I was thinking about this, and I decided to jot down a few thoughts. And if you'll allow me, I will read those thoughts to you now. This is a message to everyone here, to Theresa May and her government, and to Antifa. I have a couple of things to say to you all. And to you, thank you once again. Once again, you are showing your commitment to freedom, to justice, and your opposition to the Islamic tyranny and supremacy that plagues our great country. Our leaders, our media, our police, all prioritize Islam in their decision making. So I want to ask, let's ask the British government a question. Or better yet, let's put an MP into Parliament to ask the British government a question. Here are the questions that I would like to ask the British government, and I, in Parliament one day, and not too far away, will do so. I want to ask the British government these questions. Why is it so easy for our state to jail Tommy Robinson when it is so difficult to jail a group of men found with an underage girl in a bedroom? Why is it so much easier to jail Tommy Robinson? Why is it so easy to jail a man for leaving bacon at a mosque, but so difficult to jail jihadis who preach murder and death for the British people? Why is it so easy for judges to make rulings that allow known terrorists and jihadists to stay in our country? Why is the British government allowing ISIS fighters to return from Syria and threaten our safety? Why do we talk and investigate and get angry about an accidental fire in Grenfell, but are expected to immediately forget or not look back in anger about the deliberate, ideology-driven murder of British children? Why are Muslims allowed to cover their faces with a black sack while the rest of us are subject to strict security? Why are children being mutilated and forcefully raped while the law looks the other way? Forcefully married, child marriage while the law looks the other way. Why? terror and halal imposed upon all of us in a country that has legislated against unstunned slaughter. Why? Is it so easy, Theresa May, to jail Tommy Robinson, but so difficult to do anything at all about the monstrous crimes committed in the name of Islam all over this country every day? Why? Shall I answer the question for you? Because our government is facilitating the rapid Islamization of our society for their own political game. The globalist elites want our borders open. But the truth of it is proving to be a fly in the ointment. Therefore, they must not only hide the truth, but mercilessly persecute anyone who dares to speak it loudly. Tommy Robinson is one of the bravest people in this country, if not the. He has faced endless persecution for speaking the truth. He has had his life placed in danger. He's had a barrage of lies thrown at him from the press, lies that put his life in danger, and lies that put all of our lives in danger, and lies that put our country in danger. Shame on the media. Sharia law demands that those who insult Islam should be killed. The Western media demands that those who insult Islam should have their reputation killed. The leftist Islamic alliance wants us to suffer. It wants us unemployed and destitute, and it succeeds. When people have been fired from their jobs for criticizing Islam, when people face arrest for criticizing Islam, we are living under Islamic supremacy. And I am here today to say no more. No more of it. We're tired of this now. I'm also going to say no to the state, to this current British state, which betrays its own children by praising the ideology that murdered them. To say no to a media that portrays us, Democrats and freedom fighters, as fascists and racists, and to say no to a police that prioritise offending Muslims over the rape of young British girls. Enough. Now, Tommy fights, and everyone you've seen here today fights, but most importantly of all, you are fighting. Get out there, take every avenue, every opportunity to resist this Islamic dominance of our society. Every opportunity. You can do this. Protest in the streets, expose the lies of the media, tell the truth. Use the internet, spread a message of truth and of freedom, and vote. And vote. Vote for those who stand their ground. Vote for those who are clear. We can have no ambiguity or hesitation. We can have no political correctness or appeasement of the moderates. We must know our fight and fight it. And we must say very clearly that we will not accept a life under the iron fist of Islam, and we will not accept a government that forces us to do it. We are the people of this country, and we're here to show the world, because the world is watching. We're here to show the world that we have had enough. We will no longer bow down to the imams and their demands. And we will stand together with Tommy and everyone here today who wants to be free and who wants to tell the truth. And whatever you do, whatever action you take in this fight, base it on one thing and one thing only: the truth. The truth belongs to you, and it can never ever be defeated. It is stubborn, it will still be standing, and no matter how many names they call you, when they're finished, the truth will still be the truth, and there's nothing at all they can do about it. I want to finish with a quick message to the fascists who call themselves anti-fascists. There is a campaign to silence me in Lewisham East. The cowardly Labour Party have decided to boycott the event we're having on Tuesday. They don't think they have to answer to the people. Well, Labour may not be there on Tuesday, but I will be there on Tuesday. No matter whether I'm invited or not, I will be there on Tuesday, and I will be representing the freedom-loving, decent British majority that will vote there. Carry on, keep going, keep going. That's all we can say. It's the two most important words to say to you are keep going. Thank you all very much for coming out.
Go on, have a sing. Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Whoa, Tommy, Tommy. Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Are you making sure my mum is safe in the crowd? Thank you. Next speaker. She's a personal friend of Tommy's. They were brought together on traumatic terms. She's fighting for justice and looking for answers. I give to you, Tracy Black.
His arrest. Right, so have you read the spin that was put out in the papers? The judge stated that Tommy reading the names of the defendants was contempt of court and risked the trial collapsing. Tommy read those names in the live stream from a BBC article which was already out in the public domain. The list of defendants is publicly available on the court bloody website. If you search Google for that particular case, you will find pictures and details of the suspects already printed by nearly every national UK newspaper. So what did Tommy do exactly that nearly every other reporter in this land did? Right, so every single other case across England the public reported on, you will never ever hear a judge stating that by the newspapers reporting on it that they are in some way prejudicing the case. And I'll give you an example. Look at the pictures and the footage of Max Clifford and Rolf Harris fighting their way through hundreds of reporters going into the court on their sex charges. None of those reporters were arrested, and there were no judges commenting on the press that the case will collapse. This just highlights Tommy's absolute sham conviction. And I'll tell you something else. Harsh but fair. So don't be fooled by the corrupt ruling elite, and instead ask yourself, why are these gang rape cases are shrouded in secrecy when no other cases across the UK are? The answer is simple. The establishment do not want the public to know the full extent and horror going on across this country, facilitated
by that very same establishment for decades due to the fear of being called racist. Pathetic. Allowing children to be raped and pimped and drugged through fear of being called a racist. Tommy is exposing areas that the state would rather were swept under the carpet, and for that they are trying to have him silenced or preferably murdered in prison by Islamic gangs. Have you ever heard of another case where someone was arrested, tried, sentenced and transferred to a prison all within the space of 180 minutes? No, because it has never happened before. 3 hours. Arrested, cells, Crown Court, judge, tried, sentenced, prison 400 miles away from his home and his family. 13 months. To top it all off, they then tried to cover up and impose state censorship reporting restrictions so that no one would know what they had done. How sinister is that? This just made the story global, with thousands protesting over the weekend. They were left with no other option but to lift the restriction, as it had caused international global outrage. This entire thing is a state cover-up and the persecution of the man who is highlighting the uncomfortable truths that the establishment do not want spoken of. The Free Tommy movement, because that's what it is, it's a Free Tommy movement, is now global and it's getting bigger every single day. Look at the tens of thousands of you here today to show that enough is enough. And we will not let this corrupt government bully us into silence any longer. We will continue to protest each month until the numbers grow and grow to become unstoppable. We will be coming back here in even bigger numbers next month. July the 14th. Put that day in your diary. And if you're on holiday, cancel. So spread the word and let's shut down London. Shut it down. Stop the state persecution of Tommy Robinson. Free Tommy Robinson. Thank you. On that note, I'm going to bow out. And I would just love to say on a personal note. Don't know. No. Yeah, but he doesn't want to mention.
Tommy's a legend!
So, I just want to put a few thank yous in, because I tell you what, on another note, I'm incredibly humbled and I'm privileged to be standing here. And, you know, I love you all. And that's 100% fact. You're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human beings. And I think you're incredibly brave. Because just to come out here and stand where you're standing, that's courage. And I love you for it. And I know Tommy will love you for it. And he's sitting and languishing in a prison cell for speaking up and defending our freedom of speech, our civil liberties. And I know he'll love you for it. So God bless you. I just want to put a few thank yous out, because I've got to do it. The work that went in to organising this today was phenomenal. I swear to God, unbelievable. The people involved, Danny Tomo, absolute legend. He took it upon himself, and before we even got into gear, he had 3/4 of this demonstration organised already. I felt like I was hijacked in my sleep. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable, Danny. God bless you. He's an absolute legend. Unbelievable. Now, that is an unbelievable feat in itself. But this man, he's got a 3-year-old daughter called Lucia Rose. Did I get that right? She's 3 years old and she's going into hospital this month for open heart surgery. So he's had this on his plate, in his mind, and yeah, he's organised the vast majority of this. So I think, massive round of applause for this man. Incredible respect, you. God bless you, Dan. Everybody else, everyone knows Liam Tufts. Wonderful, beautiful man. If ever there was a man that should have his own TV show, he's standing right over there. I'd take him over any of the Muppets we have to watch on the telly. We've got Big Archie, organised it, unbelievable. Put it all together with Safa, Mr. Safa here. We've got the wonderful, gorgeous Helga. This is Tommy's PA, has been since the day we started. Our most trusted confidant and colleague. Well done, Hel. Hey, you can have a kiss later. So thanks to all the security, all the stewards. Am I missing anybody out? Tell me, because I'll be gutted. First aiders, where are you? Put your hands up. First aiders, we can't do it without them. Fair play, sir. Much respect. I've got a family. Oh, we've got old Bill. We've got Bill Weir. You can't see him, but he's in the back here. Hello, Bill. God bless you. But the people I want to thank the most are you, the British public, for being stalwart and being steadfast in your support and your convictions. And I love you for being proud of being British. God bless Israel over there. I've seen your style, Damien. God bless you. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and Tommy Robinson. Wonderful people. God bless you all.
Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy Robinson. Can we have all the speakers on the stage, please? Can we have all the speakers on the stage, please? You're not getting away that lightly. Keep it going, come on. This is the finale. Yes. Oh, Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy Robinson. Is there any more speakers at the back? Where's Gerard? Gerard Byrne. Where is Mr. Byrne? Gerard, you're missing your moment. Come on the stage. Gerard's coming. Not like that. Come on, Gerard, let's do it.
Come on, Gerard, get your skates on.
We can do it, man, we can do it. Now, before I pass the mic back to Kev, you ain't getting away that easy either. I got rushed and slung in the deep end. As Kevin said, thank you for coming and being here today and coming out of your way and to do it from the heart and the pits of your soul. I love you all to pieces and I sincerely mean that. God bless you all. I was a Kev for the finale. Thank you.